Final attack heading 035 through 045. The three cylinders are generally oriented. We have another target also dug in.
So the biggest thing is when a squad or a platoon or a company goes to a fight, there's only so many weapon systems that we can carry and bring with us. So what a JTAC or a JFO or a FAC on the ground with us allows us to do is just mass fires at such a greater level. The JTAC and the JFO has the ability to talk and understand many different platforms, especially in the air, that every 0311 or 0331 on the ground may not have a full understanding of. When they get that tasking from the ground force commander, the JTAC then knows, using their expertise, what they need to use to help eliminate whatever that threat is on the battlefield. Those capabilities are so vital because there are times when the ground force commander, as mentioned, will not have the ability to fight that fight himself. And whether that's an 0311 getting bogged down in the middle of a gunfight or whatever it is, he needs to be able to look to somebody else for another capability to eliminate whatever that threat is on the battlefield.
It's been a great opportunity. You don't see this on many ranges out here, working directly with the infantry like this on a maneuver range. A lot of ranges, because of safety standards, they're static, you're on one position, and then everything around you is moving. But here, we're actually moving with the squad, advancing to the objective, getting very close to the objective, and still delivering those surface-to-surface and air-to-surface fires out here. Earlier, we were only a few hundred meters within the target, dropping some BDU-33s off the A-10s, and also some gun runs with the 30 Mike from the GAL that the A-10 carries.
Over the course of 3 weeks, we take nearly 20 to 30 JTACs from schoolhouse level to their 21 level designation in order to be ready to deploy across the Indo-PACOM theater. The importance of a Joint Terminal Air Controller being designated is that they've garnered the special trust and confidence of their commanding officer to control fires from aircraft in close proximity to ground maneuver forces in a combat zone. The benefit of training with our joint partners is that in today's world, we are going to fight alongside our other services. And so that integration is key, that when we get in theater, that's not the first time we're working with each other.
We're training for the near-peer fight, right? So as the Air Force and Marines are starting to look to the Pacific and preparations for the near-peer fight, what that might mean is we got to stay sharp. So in the last 20 years that we've been in the Middle East fighting where air superiority hasn't been a factor, and now we're training, especially with guys on the ground like the Marines, where the air is more contested. So we're starting to train to that environment where, you know, we don't have this air superiority. In the jet myself, I'm not only worried about threats to the guys on the ground, but also air-to-air, surface-to-air threats. And that's where this training is kind of getting to that next level, where we're worried about not only protecting the guys on the ground, protecting the air assets as well. And that's what this level of training is getting us towards for that near-peer fight.
The unique benefit of bringing the Marine Corps out here is everything that they brought. So the live mortars, the maneuver forces and stuff like that. We have a lot of JTACs that come through here, but they simply can't replicate what we're seeing on the ground. So it's one thing to do it notionally, but when you actually have multiple different moving parties around and real mortars to worry about and everything else like that, it brings a sense of realism that's really not replicated anywhere other than combat. So the JTAC's the linchpin in there. He's bringing the targeting data. He's providing all that information to us. And when you look at the plane that's behind us, the amount of ordnance that we can put down in a very small time, distributed across the battlefield and over the flood, he's the king of the battlefield. That's the only way to put it. So the A-10 provides, it has a 30mm cannon, which is point shoot. We have Mavericks, EO, IR, different weight classes. We can still carry dumb bombs, and the big plug for that is we're one of the only assets out there that has such a tight hit area with our dumb bombs in there. So even though, say that we don't have enough JDAMs or they're going to a different priority and stuff like that, we can still provide extremely effective fires with unguided weapons.
Garnett Rattler's main objective is to take entry-level Joint Terminal Attack Controllers, forward air controllers, air officers, and joint fires observers and put them in a live fire environment that has a lot of maneuver flexibility as well as aviation employment flexibility in order to train realistic scenarios for their entry-level controls in the fleet. I do not know of any inert ordnance capable range in the United States that has or offers this amount of flexibility with regard to both use of maneuver, direct fire, indirect fire, and aviation employed inert ordnance. This type of training is important because it directly affects the capability and lethality of deploying Marine Corps units and the units that those units work with, such as MEWS and MRF-D. The ability to employ a tactical air control party and work close air support and assault support assets is critical to the functionality and combat lethality of the MAGTF.
Final attack heading, request immediate re-attack.
Cujo 2-1, this is Vulture. Solid copy. Brief. We are in contact with Stalker 2, a Marine recon platoon north of the MSR. They blasted 3 T-72s in the area. I need you to push 16 clicks north of MSR knife to map grid 257, 79 or 8. How copy, over? Vulture, Cujo 2